Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you guys want to check out my social media or check out a badass kick-ass original story, check out the links down in the description below. Hope you enjoy the video. So I know I never wear a beanie in my reviews. I never really wear a beanie much anymore anyway. But when I woke up this morning, I was looking like a racer head. When my hair gets long, where it's so thick, I was laying on, like if I lay on one side, my hair will just stick up. So I'm not going to put you guys through that. But what I will put you guys through today is a Red River review. Now this is the Criterion collection, and this is one of the coolest Criterion collections in my opinion. It comes with the book, The Blazing Guns of the Home Trail. I think I'm saying that right. And it's written by Borden Chase, and I believe Borden Chase also had something to do with the screenplay. I think he actually helped write the screenplay. That's what I mean. And the film is directed by Howard Hawks, and it stars John Wayne, and it has Montgomery Clift in it. Wow, that already in itself helps the movie. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and it was one of the reasons why I waited so long to watch this film, because it's been in the movie pile for a good minute. I wanted to read the book first. My wife read it first, and then I read it. It took me so long to read this book. I'm telling you guys, I did not really care too much for the middle part. I liked the ending of the book and the beginning of the book, like the first 20 pages were just masterful in my opinion. I love the part where they go to Memphis and meet the Tess. Matthew Garth meets Tess for the first time. Yeah, that was probably my favorite part in the whole book. So this is really kind of I'm not going to compare the movie to the book because I don't want to do that, but there are some things that I didn't really care too much for in terms of like kind of the way they went about things with the film, because they did take some stuff out of the book. They've done some things in the book completely different, and I won't spoil that for you if you want to get this version and read the book before you watch the movie. But the movie itself, it's pretty faithful. It is pretty faithful, and the characters and all that, I could see those characters being those characters in the book. They don't really go into too much character detail in the book, and I'm about to stop talking about the book, but they don't go into too much character detail. So kind of seeing that, it kind of worked out with the movie. So, and I'm not really a big fan of books that don't really go into character detail that much. I know some people like it because they like to kind of imagine the character. I kind of like to know what the character looks like, but that's just me. But yeah, the book itself, I would definitely recommend reading it before you watch the movie because it made for a pretty interesting viewing experience, if I say so myself. Now, Red River, the film itself. Now, Red River, John. One thing that I'm going to praise, one thing that I'm going to absolutely praise with this film. If you don't know what the film is about, it's about a man. He's getting a sort of a ranch set up. His name's Thomas Dunson, and he's wanting to take his beef, his cattle. He's wanting to take them to Missouri, and things start to happen, and sometimes things don't go the way that they're supposed to go. So yeah, I would call it a Western, I guess, but honestly, I would more so call it a Midwestern. That might sound silly, but yeah, it's one of the things that, and getting back to what I was saying, I kind of got off track, but one of the things that I will praise about this film is the hair and makeup. Thomas Dunson and Groot, from the beginning of the film, when you see what they look like, and then they do sort of the little time jump for 1948, that is impressive. I don't. It wasn't 1948. It was 1948. Wow, it blew me away when I first saw it. I mean, seeing Groot, because Groot in this, if you look at him at the very beginning, he looks like a young dude. I mean, he looks like somebody probably in his mid 40s, and then you compare him to, he looks like he did in Rio Bravo, which was also another one with John Wayne and Dean Martin. If he looked just like he literally went from looking like a 45-year-old man to how he looked in Rio Bravo. And mind you, Rio Bravo didn't come out until I think 11 years after this. It's crazy. It's crazy. Which I'm pretty sure maybe he just didn't age that much in those 10 years. But what I'm getting at is hair and makeup is on point. It really is. And there's some good tension in the film, especially during the stampede. There's not much killing. There's not much action. It really is just the story about them trying to get the beef to Missouri, or in some cases maybe somewhere else, depending on how the story kind of turns out. Yeah, and the ending too is a lot different than the book. I won't say anything, that was one thing. I'm going to get into this in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of talk about what I want to talk about with the film. And then at the very end, before I sort of close the video out, I'm going to spoil the ending. So I'm going to let you guys have some time to click off so I don't spoil it for you. But Red River is worth the watch, and I would recommend reading the book first. That's what I'm doing with George Orwell's 1984. Is I'm going to read the book first before I watch the movie, because that's another movie that I've had in the movie pile for a bit. But if you are a fan of westerns and you do love John Wayne, I mean, I really just recommend any John Wayne film. I mean, anytime I watch a new John Wayne film, I'm pretty satisfied. But yeah, definitely check out Red River. It's a pretty good movie. Now, here I go with the spoilers. So hopefully you guys have had enough time to click off the video. If you haven't, I'm sorry. I'll give you 3 more seconds. Okay, we're going to talk about this. Now, one thing that I told my wife before we watched this film was I knew that they weren't going to go through with the ending of the book. The ending of the book has Thomas Dunson getting killed. And it's not even getting killed by the person you would think would kill him. It's him getting killed by another man, Cherry Valance. I knew they weren't going to go through with this because it was John Wayne. And I mean, what kind of movie, what are you doing killing John Wayne in a movie back in the day? You know, you just never heard of that. And it really did disappoint me really bad. Maybe if I didn't read the book first, I wouldn't have felt that way. But it really did bother me because I knew they weren't going to kill John Wayne. I knew that I knew it. I knew Thomas Dunson was not going to die. It had this very feel-good ending. And while the ending itself was pretty cool, and I feel like they done what they can for what they believed, because I believe they strongly believe they didn't need to kill John Wayne. And like I said, you don't have to kill main characters and everything. I personally am a fan of it if it works. I'm a huge fan of it if it works. That's why I love certain games. I won't get into them, but yeah, that's why I love certain games. But very seldomly, you know, like I do like to see that kind of stuff if it makes sense. And for Red River, boy, did it make sense. I mean, it really did, but they didn't go through with it, and that's kind of the biggest issue I had with the film. But yeah, I still would recommend watching it. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying your day. I hope you guys are staying safe wherever you're at, and I'll see you guys next time.